The casualties from the Battle of Gettysburg were very high. The Northern Army lost over 23,000 men, 3,155 killed, 14,531 wounded, and 5,369 captured. The Southern casualties are harder to pin down, but they probably also lost over 23,000 in about the same proportion as the Federals. Over its 3 days, it was the bloodiest battle of the war. To bury all of the Union soldiers of the battle, this cemetery on Cemetery Hill, which had been central to the fighting, was chosen as a memorial to them. The reburial of the soldiers was begun in October of 1863, and on November 19th, a ceremony was held to dedicate the ground. It was a large gathering of about 15,000 people, including the governors of 6 states. The main speaker was Edward Everett, a famous orator of the time, who gave a 2-hour oration on the battle. His speech was forgotten, for he was followed by the President, Abraham Lincoln, who gave a 2-minute speech that would become one of the most famous in American history.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Lincoln's speech soon became famous. It was a statement of the United States' new birth. Today it's hailed by many as a document as foundational to the country as the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution. Lincoln was saying that the America coming out of the Civil War would be different than the one going in. It would be an indivisible nation based on freedom. But not everyone agreed with Lincoln's definition of freedom. The Confederates thought that by being forced to stay in the Union, they were being made slaves. So the war would go on for another 2 bloody years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also visit www.discerninghistory.com for more videos and other resources.